Welcome back to the experiment that when you say Crimea River asks, which river? It's the Smart Mark Time Machine. We are continuing on our path to see what would happen if CM Punk didn't leave WWE in 2014. We, last episode, introduced ourselves back to the roster of early 2014. We simulated through to WrestleMania 30, where we discovered two key differences, I think, besides Punk's situation. We'll talk about him in a moment. Number one, the streak is still alive. As much as a CM Punk video, let's all regale in the fact the streak lives. And then the question goes, who's going to take the streak, or does anybody take the streak? Question number two, or situation number two, The Miz has now been victorious in the main event of two WrestleManias for the WWE Championship, besting Batista and Daniel Bryan. The Miz over Daniel Bryan. Is there a bigger middle finger to the internet wrestling community? I do not know. But there's some things I do know, and that is we've hit WrestleMania. As a result, we've got some updates in the roster we need to draw attention to. We need to say goodbye to some people. We need to say goodbye to Brodus Clay, to Captain Charisma himself. Christian is no longer with us. We need to say goodbye. It's time to hinder Vijinder, because there he is, out of a gig. Also, biggest little man in the history of wrestling, Rey Mysterio, has made his way out the door, as has Santino Marella. We've also got Yoshitatsu, who's no longer with us. And from the women's roster, we no longer have Oksana. But where there is departure, where there is arrival, where there is death, there is life. We need to welcome the following to the roster. We've got Adam Rose. Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud. We've got, he's down here under Wade. But I'm afraid I've got some good news, and that's that Bad News Barrett is. Let's put him on the roster. Later on, we'll have that, gentlemen. But we've got, it's the day after WrestleMania. Paige has made her way down, this time to confront Alicia Fox, but not take the title. Interesting as we sit here currently in possession of the NXT Women's Championship. What's going to happen there? We've also got from Battle Creek, Michigan, the whole effing show, Mr. Monday Night, Rob Van Dam. And it's Machka time, Rusev. So that's where we currently sit as we jump in here. Also, The Miz has taken Damian Mizdow, his stunt double, which works nicely, actually. Him as the champion. That should be a thing anyway. So there he is. He will be accompanying The Miz for all of his matches and doing all the fall down stuff that we're used to. And also, Sin Cara has made his way back to NXT, where he has joined up with Kalisto to form the Lucha Dragons. Other teams who are now in existence, or at least more directly so. Cody Rhodes and Goldberg. We had a Raw segment that brought Evolution. We've got Miz and Mizdow, but they won't be competing in the tag division until Miz drops his belt, should that occur. The Lucha Dragons over at NXT will be a tag team. We've also got the greatest obscure tag team that you forgot about, Slater Gator, joining the tag ranks. So that's more or less where we have things now. All sort of changes have been made. Are there any fixed points coming on the year ahead? We shall find out. But in the short term, let's get to it, as the kids would say. My name is Ian. This is the Smart Mark Time Machine. And today we are asking, what if CM Punk never left WWE? Hit my music. I'm just going to look at the card for the first Raw of the year, just to look at it. I'm not even really too concerned about how it breaks down, because we need to get to our pay-per-views and see where things are headed, back when they were still called pay-per-views. So we can see we've got Evolution and we got the Shield doing their thing there. We can see we've got just a mishmash in the mid-card. Alberto Del Rio, he's still a thing. Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, 18 seconds. The Miz and a non-titled Dolph Ziggler. Corporate Kane is back in the game. Should have mentioned that. Corporate Kane. Punk and Triple H, some sort of blow-off segment, perhaps. Bray Wyatt and Cena continue their rivalry. And Taker and Lesnar seem to be continuing something going on here. We need to get Kane away from The Undertaker. Because we have Corporate Kane now. Let's take a look at where things are headed. So, first event's going to be just in a week's time at Extreme Rules. Let's hop over there, shall we? Let's see what our man CMPunk. So he's a 5-time WWE champion, WWE/World Champion. He won 2 world titles in AEW. So between now and WrestleMania 40, we have to pick up 2 world titles for CM Punk for this to be considered worth it. Surely that's likely to happen. Looks like the women are going on last again. Let's take a look and see where we got. We got Cena and Wyatt. Where's Punk? Where is Punk? Right back to with the tag shot. Cody Rhodes and Big E. We've got 4-man tag, not a 6-man tag, but it's sort of holding true to form here. Undertaker and Brock. And Natalya and Alicia Fox are getting the main event. The Miz taking the night off, it looks like. Wow, the Divas title is definitely being held in higher regard than the WWE Championship. That is for sure. Just looking to make sure there's no weird stuff going on here, but it appears that I can't go to championships. So there we go. Let's take a look and we'll simulate all matches. We will interfere in the next pay-per-view if they don't do a proper 6-man tag with the Shield and Evolution. Just feel it kind of has to happen. So. And oh, there we go. John Cena is the win over. As we're looking for, as opposed to last year, the simulation times are really quick. So there we are. We got John Cena. We've got the Wyatt family successful. We've got New Age Outlaws continue their run on top of the tag division. Khali over Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, new Intercontinental Champion. It's going to put a bit of a wrench in the works regarding his tag team. Cody Rhodes continues his run as a tag team champion. The Shield victorious over Batista and Randy Orton. So that part sort of stays true to form. And Undertaker continues with a win over Brock Lesnar. So, and Alicia Fox maintains her run at the top of the women's division. So let's now hop over to, for kicks and giggles, let's see what TakeOver's got for us. All right, and here are the results from TakeOver. Sami Zayn over Kalisto. We've got the Ascension continuing their run on top of the tag division. Sin Cara and Big Cass in a bit of an oddball tag team over Blake and Murphy. Bo Dallas retains over Hideo Itami. Alexa Bliss again over Becky Lynch. And the main event of TakeOver, Mojo Rawley over Neville, as opposed to an actual title match for the men or the women's championship. Women's championship not being defended on this night. Women's champion being Paige, of course, not on the roster. We may have to, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to vacate that title. I didn't know if it would come up with something on its own, so we're going to vacate that title. Move champion, there we are. Let's see if it'll book one at the next one. Otherwise, we may have to force feed it. We will see. We may have to force feed with the top 2. If it's not on the card next time, we will force feed the top 2 contenders into a match. So let's go ahead to the next show, which is, so we have at least a men's main event. Let's see what that looks like, though. Brian versus Henry. We've got Los Matadores with a shot at the tag titles. Natalia, Swagger, Ziggler for what it's worth. Mizdow against Rhodes. That's interesting. That's interesting. If the Miz was the WWE champion and Mizdow held the IC belt, that would be entertaining. Ooh, Kofi versus Big E. Find the other members of A New Day. Okay, let's be changing that, shall we? So I came across, I was doing some research. There's some videos where people just have a different universe for every year. And when they do these multi-year ones, they just bank through. And as a result, the champions don't tend to cross over and there's no sense of an overall arc. So I didn't want to do that. So please bear with me with some growing pains that might be in place here. And we're back with the Big E Kofi match. That should be the last time we see the ghost of New Day yet to come over his shoulder. We have a 6-man tag with. Okay, we're going to edit that. We're going to edit that and put Seth Rollins in there because I don't know what's happened there. There's our main event. Again, The Miz gets away with not defending the belt. So The Miz is getting a Brock Lesnar reign. Very interesting. Let's take a look and see how it plays out, shall we? So Daniel Bryan over Mark Henry. New Age Outlaws, everything old, still new again. Emma with the win. Rybaxel with the win. Shout out in the comments, you're here at Rybaxel match. Dolph Ziggler with the win. Cody over Damian Mizdow. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe Miz's appearance fee was already taken care of there. Kofi beats the ghost of Big E present. And the Shield, true to form, win a game. Right, folks, that brings us to our first fixed point of the year. How could you not include the breakup of the Shield? Too early, in my opinion. They had a lot of room to go yet. You look at what's happening with the Bloodline. You look at what's happening with the New Day, the Young Bucks, and the Elite. Long-term storytelling, and that just felt like it was in a win. But we are making this a fixed point because I think the output of it worked in the end. I think it's rather surprising to go, it was the wrong time, but it still really, really worked. And that's what we have here. So as a result, we have the breakup of the Shield and the establishment of the Authority. So that's going to be a factor going forward. Seth Rollins officially in the U.S. title hunt. Roman Reigns officially in the Intercontinental title hunt. Alongside Bad News Barrett, who for some reason was floating around in the ether, not doing anything. So that is the situation going forward. We are going to, if there is a spot, well, we have all the spots in the world. Wow. We are going to use one of them on the rivalry between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. That is a fixed point. Because it took up most of that year and it was a good feud. So there we are. The U.S. title may come into play here, but let's take a look and see where we go with that. Intensity low. I probably should change that. I'll change Dean's character model in the next update, and we'll go from there. But that is the first fixed point, is that we've got the breakup of the Shield. So what impact is that going to have going forward? Especially now that you've got, like I said, CM Punk's floating around. I don't know what that's done for my payback card. Didn't look at it beforehand. Let's take a look and see what's here. So, Bryan and Henry. Oh, sorry, we already had the payback. Let's jump to Battleground, shall we? And we've got, Dean Ambrose in the main event. So what's happening here? Emma and Cameron, Eva Marie and Alicia Fox, the Divas title. So that's not main eventing. Who's getting, is there a B tag shot? AJ Lee. Oh, Edge a little bit early. John Cena, Mark Henry. There we are. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in the main event. Again, the WWE Championship not being defended. What is going on? Rivalry mode. What are you doing? I'm very surprised by that. And I'm trying to figure out how the way to go around that is. I'm not going to change the card. Not yet. Not yet. I'm going to do some sort of storyline thing. But SummerSlam, one of the big four, it's going to have to be defended. So we'll sort of play it like that. We can get through these B shows, but we're not going to let it get through a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series or a Rumble or a Mania. So those are the sort of the ones where I'm going to be compelled to jump in. But let's take a look and see what's happening to us right now, shall we? So, actually, I was really curious about this superstars. Miz. That's the Miz, and he's got the title. Yeah, he should be there. So, really interesting stuff. Let's go ahead and give it a sim and see what happens. Cameron versus Emma. Well, there we go. That'll be someone else's favorite match of all time, I suppose. Alicia Fox maintains her clutch on the Divas Championship. Fernando and Diego. Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud. AJ Lee over Beth Phoenix. We've got no one Mina Ventamina in her corner. Edge didn't have a chance. John Cena over Mark Henry. And the main event, Seth Rollins is your new United States champion. I have no idea why Dean was joined by. I'm going to assume that was just general interference is how we'll play that. Universe mode, go home. You've had a bit too much to drink. Moving onwards and upwards then. Really interesting. We have very little CM Punk so far. So let's just take a look and see how things are doing for him overall. We'll look at some show rankings, look at some power rankings, things along that line, just to see where we're at here. I'm still like, why can't I do this? Because I know I'm being recorded. At a power rankings. Let's just take a look at there. CM Punk is 8th, so he's doing well. He's doing quite well. Something like 67 superstars in the roster. Yeah, 67. So we do have that. So championships and nothing's changed behind our back. Nope, it's everything as it should be. Now let's take a look at let's take a look at NXT while we're here. Have they done something with that women's title, or are we going to be compelled to when we get over there? Let's take a look, shall we? I still thank you for bearing with me here. Edit divisions, no. Edit. Let's do power rankings first and foremost. The Ascension, Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, the whole women's division, it seems. Let's take a look and see where we're at with Heavyweight Championships and Money in the Bank. We have nothing. We will be compelled to act, I think. Between our top 2, that'll be the deal next time around. We'll just put that on. But where's Punk? That's the question we're all asking. Xavier Woods, Tyson Kidd, the Wyatts versus Los Matadores, Alberto Del Rio and Kali continue. Emma and Naomi have a feud. Lots of women's wrestling. You got to give it up for that. Alicia Fox taking on Summer Rae for the Divas title. Otunga Big E. Randy Orton and The Miz. There it is, but not the main. Not the main. The main is Dolph Ziggler, CM Punk, the main event of SummerSlam. So that's quite interesting. What the story must have been there, who knows? Who knows? AJ Lee, what's her gimmick at this point? Could you tie her in there? You probably could. Let's see how it works out. I'll leave that as a surprise. So, Woods with the win. The Wyatts, Alicia Fox maintains her run. Big E, Randy Orton is now your new champion. What that means is that we can officially put the Miz and Mizdow in the tag division. So there we are, Randy Orton. The second time with the belt in the sim alone. So it went from Orton to Miz, from Miz back to Orton. So there we are. And Dolph Ziggler beat CM Punk. So there we are. Putting over the young kids. Nicely done, Phil. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll put them in the tag division. Usually I wouldn't look at the card in advance, but I am curious about the women's championship. So let's take a look here. Look at this. Enzo and Big Cass against the Ascension. So tag belts are a thing. Blake and Murphy against Mojo Rawley and CJ Parker. There's quite the tag team. Aiden English and Simon Gotch versus Kalisto and Sin Cara. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. Bayley and Charlotte Flair. I'm thinking the women's title's not coming out. And Kevin Owens is going to take on Bo Dallas several months before his actual debut in the Sacred Timeline. Here we go. But we are going to find out what the rankings are, and we are going to settle a women's champion. We will call it the culmination of a women's tournament. Call it whatever you want, but we got to find out what's going on here in NXT. We got to get this title up and running. So let's take a look here. The women's belt, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, who I don't think are fighting each other. So Charlotte Flair had the higher rankings. We will definitely give her the title match. I sound like the power structure of WWE. I just give Charlotte the title match. That's how it goes, isn't it? So let's do this. Yeah, we Bayley and Charlotte Flair. Let's go ahead and put the title on the line there. And participants, so we can just add the belt. There we go. And no, we're not going for that one. We're going for this one. Because Paige vacated it and has done nothing ever since she was on the main roster. So there we go. We've got everything in place here. Will Kevin Owens bypass Sami Zayn and get there? Let's find out. Or do we all believe? Victor and Connor hang on to the belts. Mojo and CJ Parker. You know what? I think that makes them a tag team now. You got to give it what the universe gives you, man. Mojo and we're going to call them Stay Juiced. They call them Rock Hard, I guess. They'd both be a fitting hip of things to come. Mojo Rawley. And not quite yet Rock Hard, CJ Parker. Where? They are now in the tag division. But let's continue on and see. I'd make sure I add them to it on the way out. But we've got remember the Lucha Dragons beat the Vaudevillains. If anything, the singles titles need some competitors. Sasha Banks beats Becky Lynch, but Bayley jumps the queue and becomes the NXT Women's Champion. Interesting. And Bo Dallas beats Kevin Owens. So there we go. He continues his run. I believe. Let's edit shows and get that new tag team. Stay juiced. Oh, not that one. Oh, this one. There we are. Look at all that tag team. Look at all that. Good stuff. Has the Miz shown up? Let's take a look. Well, it's got Tyson Kidd. I doubt he's challenging for the big gold belt. Henry Ziggler. Man, that's quite the drop down the card for Ziggles. Gabriel Fandango, Paige and Emma. So Paige is getting some time on pay-per-view. Gator Slater. The Usos. Be good to see them with the belt so I can retire the New Age Outlaws once they drop the straps. Summer Rae and AJ Lee. Drew and Cody. Very interesting. And Tyson Kidd Big E. The Miz is taking his usual 3 months off, it looks like. So let's, other than the Miz, it's Randy Orton now, isn't it? The Authority holding that gold close to their vest. All right, so we have Henry, we have Fandango, we have Paige, we have Reb Axel. New Age Outlaws continue their run. AJ Lee, Drew McIntyre, Night of Champions, and it's headlined by Drew McIntyre over Cody Rhodes. So Cody's going to go and jump up and challenge for the for the main strap, I think, at this point. No, he's going to tag team with his brother, isn't he? Big E over Tyson Kidd in the main event. Night of Champions, your main event. Big E versus Tyson Kidd. Cool. Complain about Vince's product all you want. It wasn't that. I love Tyson Kidd. I did my due diligence. I did put Hell in a Cells in the match table. So we'll see if it paid off. Tyson Kidd, Big E. Drew McIntyre, Xavier Woods. Adam Rose, Justin Gabriel. Paige, look at that. Pretty close to Art Imitating Life there. Can she run? And the run, that would be interesting if she could. The Usos get another crack at it. The Rhodes Brothers against Reb Axel. Rob Van Dam and CMPunk Falls Count Anywhere. Whoo! Man, you know what? New school ECW versus old school ECW. Sheamus versus Brock, who's been surprisingly absent to this point in the sim. And the main event. Okay. But not in a Hell in a Cell. How is it not? Okay, we're going to change that main event. There's going to be a Hell in a Cell match. So Cena Orton something feels tragically right about that. I don't know. What was your take on Super? I mean, I hated the Cena Orton matchup. I was never a big Cena guy, and I hated Orton. I used to like him when he was a heel, at least at the start, but man, people, I don't get it. People rave about him. I don't get it at all. So let's find out and see where things land. Beth Phoenix with the win. Tyson Kidd with the win. Drew McIntyre beats Xavier Woods. Adam Rose continues, and it's Alicia Fox. The Usos, and I can retire the Road Dogg and Badass Billy Gunn. A good run. A good run. Ryback over the Rhodes Brothers. Rob Van Dam over CM Punk. A lot of jobs, it feels like, since he beat Triple H. Coincidence? What was the deal with that contract extension? Or I guess not quitting. Brock Lesnar with the win over Sheamus. And then Randy Orton beats John Cena inside Hell in a Cell. Let's just do this really quickly. Billy Gunn, your services will no longer be required. Thank you for all that you've done. Heck of a run, though. And give it to the Usos. Feels like it's a good, natural sort of rub. Tell you what, when I was young, man, I loved the Road Dogg. Oh, I didn't see that he wasn't really the best worker that Billy Gunn was. I thought Billy Gunn was boring. I thought, oh, Road Dogg, just the gift of gab. You know what I mean? Having the microphone in your hand and just making the crowd do what you want them to do. Oh, it's still the skill set that I think I value more, but I do value a decent work right now. Road Dogg, he did pretty well for the skill set he had. Really quite well. Look how his brothers did in WCW, then look how he did. He's done all right. All right. So there is that. So now let's take a look, and we're going to, I believe it's Survivor Series. Oh, I know. Oh, geez, we've skipped something. We've missed something, and I'm going to put it literally next week. A very special custom PLE. Because you can't have 2 pay-per-views in a month. You have to remember and not be an idiot that once your first show's over, you got to assign host shows to it. So I missed Money in the Bank. I did have it set up there, but let's do this instead. A 6-man match. It's gonna main event. It's gonna go only one, and we need 100% chance it's gonna take place. There we go. That's 100%. That's 105. There we are. I don't know if that works or not. It says 100%, even though the other one's 100%. Well, we'll see how it goes. I know someone's going to go, oh, you made that 200%. I'm just going with what the game tells me at the bottom. It makes the one blue, and it tells you the ones add up to 100. So I'm trying that. But that is a ladder match. It should be the main event. We're going to do that next week. We're going to do Money in the Bank has been moved to October this year because November of this shit. November. We'll do Survivor Series. Then, did I just do the same thing again? I just did the same thing again. I'm going to have to remember, but I should remember now because it shouldn't be that bad. So, wait, can I actually put them on? Oh, I could have done it all along. Well, that's frustrating. Last year's game, you could only do it once. Apologies, everybody. Oh, that's silly on my part then, isn't it? All right, let's jump ahead. We got 2 big pay-per-views coming up. All right, we're supposed to have some 8-man tags. Let's see if it shows up. Mark Henry versus Dolph Ziggler. Slater Gator. Get your picks in. Dean Ambrose. I don't know why Kane's hanging out with Dean Ambrose again. Is that it? Only 6 matches and no Survivor Series match. Well, you know what? I'm going to let that be this year because I don't really feel like picking the 8 men. Well, this is supposed to be the big one with the Authority, isn't it? But Cena's in the main event. Is there a spot for me to add a match in the middle of the card? Cena's the one leading that. I'm going to leave that as it is. Sorry for you Survivor Series purists. I'm not going to put an 8-man tag on this year. It's just too important to do that. So, yeah. Otherwise, I'm booking. I want to be booking the whole thing because I have to move Ziggler out. I'd have to move Ryback out. We're just going to go ahead and do this one as it is. So simulate as Ziggler over Henry, Slater Gator, Emma, Ryback. Man, it feels like they should probably have a shot at the belt sometime soon. Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton again victorious over John Cena. And we're going to say that John Cena, after the match, is being beaten down by the Authority. He was so close, they overcame him. They jumped him after the fact as well. And then that's what prompts the debut of Sting. Sting was unable to help Cena win the match, but he is able to save him from a post-match beatdown. So Sting has arrived in WWE. There we are. And just for fun, we've put him in the heavyweight title picture. It'll place him where it wants him, but if it wants to pull a fast one and make him go for the title, I'm not going to fight it. So let's go on. We should be moving on now to Money in the Bank. Opening with the title match. That gives me hope that it's going to do properly. So Dolph Ziggler gets a shot against Randy Orton. And we've got the Slater Gator against the Wyatts. Ooh, the Usos against Miz and Mizdow. I like that, but man, Ryback still cannot catch a break. They really should be up there. 6-woman ladder match. Okay, so ladder matches work, but that's not the one I wanted. Xavier Woods versus Kofi Kingston, CM Punk versus Sheamus, AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella, who we've not seen to this point. And there we are. That is a ladder match. Can I change that so it's the Money in the Bank ladder match? I sure can. Customized match. It should save all 6 of them, so I'm hoping it will. 6-man ladder match. Confirm. Title match on. Money in the Bank. There it is. Why does it want to target that one? I don't understand that. I think I need to fix that before I go any further. Ooh, I want to say I think I've got that set up. So let's take a look now. Don't tell me now you've changed the match. Oh, who was in the match? Sorry, folks, I don't remember exactly who was in the match. Do I just randomize it? I think I remember Drew. I know I remember David Otunga because I was like, what's he doing there? I remember Bad News Barrett. Who else was there? I'm going to go with Dean. And then I really am just going to hit random a couple times because I have no idea. I knew it wasn't Seth. Now, Seth does win it in real life. I'm going to give him a chance to win both. Man, they really want to give Seth a chance in this, don't they? Oh, Rusev. There we go. Let's put Rusev in there. He hasn't done anything to deserve this, but let's take a look, shall we? Yeah, I can fix that post, I hope. It's not the Universal Championship it's going for, so I could have left it be. But I think that's pretty close, I think. Anybody doing double duty? No, not somebody doing double duty. Let's save it. Sorry, folks, if your favorite was in there and I've moved past them. I'm trying to compensate for universe mode being difficult. So let's go ahead and simulate all the matches. Is Punk in here? Punk was here. Sheamus, that's right. All right, submit all the matches, and we have Dolph Ziggler. You know what? Good for him. A guy who should have got more. And a guy just recently released by WWE. I always felt if you put the rocket on him and let him do his thing, there's a lot of Shawn Michaels comparisons. The tragic thing with Dolph is I don't know if we really knew what he could do. He did go to that, like, I'm a screamy promo guy thing, but that could have been just a matter of getting some reps in. I think if someone had believed in him, there would have been something there. So I'm happy to see Dolph Ziggler win the win the WWE Championship. Slater Gator over the Wyatts, man. The Usos continue. That's good. That's good. You don't want a 1 month reign or 1 week reign, I suppose. Tamina wins a ladder match. That's not a Money in the Bank. I want to stay true to the historical timeline on that one. I do. So Tamina, it'll just Rocky up the card. Well done. Kofi Kingston over Xavier Woods. So is Kofi beaten both members of his future New Day self? I think he has. Punk over Sheamus. AJ Lee over Nikki Bella. And hey, I gotta be honest, I love that. Wade Barrett, someone who I always felt. Now, what we're gonna mean is we may have to take a look and see if he's cashing in on we have to see if he's cashing in on Raws going forward. So we'll have to take a look at that. So let's have a go, shall we? But that's where things have worked out. So before we move on any further, let's take a look at the show. Make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. Championships Money in the Bank. And it is targeting the right championship, so I don't know why it said it wasn't there. So I probably could have left it be, but such is. All right, what do we have next? Next up, we're going to our Evolution. This is the famous Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Owens debut. Do the power slam on the ring apron after Sami wins the belt. Ty Dillinger in the main event. Lucha Dragons against the Ascension. Can they end the reign? What was it, Totally Juiced or something like that? Get Juiced? I Totally Juiced. Oh, Hype Juice. Hype Juice. Oh, Hype Juice. We're going to change the name of that against Blake and Murphy. We've got the Vaudevillains against Enzo Big Cass. Tag team scene is alive and well in NXT. Sami Zayn against Bo Dallas. Can art imitate life? In this timeline, can Sami Zayn win the NXT championship at the same time? Bayley defending against Charlotte Flair. And Ty Dillinger and Hideo Itami. Let's just cheat and say that's being taped for future NXT, and it's really being main evented by Bayley and Charlotte. All right, let's simulate all matches, shall we? The Ascension continue. Hype Juice. Hype Juice is victorious. Enzo and Big Cass. Bo leaves. Wow. Bayley as well. Good job. And then Hideo Itami with the win. So very interesting. Man, it's all pay-per-views all the time. We're going to TLC. Now, I set this one up. I set this one up with chairs matches. I set this one up, not chairs, with tables, ladders, a couple TLC matches. I said, this is what the match card should look like. Alberto Del Rio in the main event. Interesting. We got Tamina, AJ Lee. What has happened there? Have they split up? Or is it a friendly? It says they're in a rivalry. I guess their partnership is over. Gabriel Fandango, The Rhodes versus Los Matadores, Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendez. A rematch here. Last time we had that, it was the Usos doing double duty in such a way, and they ended up pulling up the win in the rematch. Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler. And the main event is TLC, but it's for the belt. It's Alberto Del Rio versus Cesaro. I have no idea what we're going to say is on top of that. Yeah, I have no idea what's on top. But is it the only TLC? It's the only TLC match. There's no other sort of ladder matches or anything. But at least we got a TLC match. Let's say, I don't know, Paul Heyman is fandangled it that there's going to be $100,000. A very old school stint. But let's go with that, shall we? So simulate all matches. AJ's victorious. Justin Gabriel. Man, he's getting a lot of matches for Justin Gabriel. I got to say. The Rhodes Brothers. Alicia Fox continues her run. Mizdow and The Miz do exactly what I predicted they would do in the rematch. They take the belts. So that's going to be funny. You can continue with the actual scene where the Miz had both belts, and then Mizdow had like minor versions of the same belts. Oh, if I can find a gif of that, I'll put it here. Bray Wyatt over Dean Ambrose, exploding TV monitor, maybe. Cena over Ziggler. So a 1-month reign for Ziggles. Cena can't beat Orton, but he can beat Ziggler. And Del Rio beats Cesaro in the totally meaningful TLC match. Happy New Year. Now, we are going to watch the Rumble match. I will figure it out from if and when Punk enters. If not, I'll just play the last little bits of it. But we're starting off with, it'll be the first match. Then we're going to have Summer Rae, Alicia Fox. The third in the Rubber Series here. Orton, Ziggler, no title involved now. Ambrose and R-Truth. And then a women's 30-man roll. I don't know how you can get 30 women out of it. I have no clue. And I told it not to do one. Should I get rid of it? I'm going to get rid of it. I want that first one to actually mean something. So we're going to be main evented by Dean Ambrose and R-Truth because I'm not putting another match on the card. 5-match show. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call me a Royal Rumble.
The following is the Royal Rumble match.
We have entrant number 1. Who is it going to be?
Introducing the participants.
It's the Big Show.
Standing at
That's a very
7
unique,
feet tall, weighing in at
unique hashtag
500
he's got
pounds.
The
social
question
media account.
hovering above this situation
What was the name of that
how
social
bad
media
do you want it? What are you willing to go through? How far are you willing to push yourself to win the Royal Rumble?
Tout. Oh, wait a minute. It's Tout. Man number 2 in the Rumble is going to be... I was just saying Big Show song. Come for the simulation, stay for the sweet.
This is going to be good.
Oh. Jamaican me crazy, Michael Cole says.
Introducing the individual who drew number 2 from Kingston, Jamaica, weighing in at 212 pounds, the Superstar.
Well, this superstar wants to accomplish what
That's
many
laziness.
deemed impossible and go on to main event WrestleMania. This superstar better get ready to be pushed to the limits. When it comes to the limits, Byron, I assure you, this superstar is equipped and ready to push back.
Oh, it's a New Day Rocks clap there.
There's the bell, and so the action begins as the countdown to our next entrant gets underway. It's Royal Rumble time.
All right, we're going to stick with this. A bunch of highlights. So number 3, we got Fandango into the ring. Number 4, Bray Wyatt as they come piling in. That's gotta hurt. Number 5, the Dead Man, The Undertaker. That's an early spot as Show eliminates Kofi from the match. The count clocks down. We get number 6, and it's Triple H, and Show eliminates Wyatt, and then Fandango eliminates Show. Oh, how do you like those moves? Just a 3-way dance until Alberto Del Rio hits the ring. The clock counts down, but Triple H is able to eliminate Fandango easily, and then Taker with a choke slam. He's not going to. He's not going to. Oh, he's unsuccessful, but down comes a man called Sting. Sting and The Undertaker. Sting and The Undertaker for years. This is what the fans have called for. We've got Undertaker again. Is he going to go for the choke slam? One more. He's going for the choke slam again. He walked, and he's out. He's out. He's put out Triple H so early in the match as Eric Rowan, Redbeard, the Vintner, makes his way down to the ring. At 10, we've got Daniel Bryan. A lot of big men in there. And then the biggest underdog, wasn't that Rey Mysterio's name? But regardless, Sting. Can Sting eliminate Taker here? What would that mean for WrestleMania? Surely the man who eliminates The Undertaker. That's gotta be a program for the showcase of the Immortals. Surely. Nope. The Dead Man manages to make his way back in. And the clock counts down from 10. Where are we going next? Taker punches away. A whole lot of Taker-Sting interactions here. 11 is Zack Ryder. Woo, woo, woo. You know it. Big DDT from Taker. And then number 12, the bizarre one, Goldust. Coming on down. Will Cody get a spot in the Rumble? Number 13, we have one of Los Matadores in Diego. Go, Diego, go! Entering the ring. At 14, we've got Sheamus, and it's fight night. He wasn't doing that in 2015. But regardless, oh, and instantly super kicked out by Alberto Del Rio. It was his destiny. Taker with the tombstone on Diego. No, Diego, no. And then Zack Ryder pulls off a move, but Jack Swagger, the all-American American, we the people, heads down to the ring, and Taker with a tombstone on Zack Ryder. I always liked those trunks that were one leg longer than the other, and Sting has put out Goldust in record time. Some ground and pound from Diego on Jack Swagger. And Bryan with a Hurricane Rana, and see ya, woo, woo, woo. You know it, he's gone. The clock counts down from 10, and Del Rio eliminates the GOAT, or at least the GOAT face, Daniel Bryan. Taker throws Sting over, and it's, oh, Swagger comes to the rescue, it looks like. Oh, Sting's back in, and Tyson Kidd is in the ring. At 17, we have Xavier Woods. Feels a little overmatched in star power. Maybe this could be a coming out party for him. And number 18, Fernando. We now have both Los Matadores, and I can definitely not tell them apart. Here we are. Sting just eliminates Alberto Del Rio. A simple throw over the rope, and he's gone. Number 19, Luke Harper. The first two members of the Rowan family, the Wyatt family, have gone. Can Harper have any more success as Taker eliminates Jack Swagger? Taker has been in there since number 5. As we get ready for number 20, Roman Reigns. And the crowd boo heartily. They're not ready for Roman Reigns to be the face of the WWE. They are making their noise heard. Daniel Bryan eliminated earlier in the match. Sting works on Roman Reigns. He takes him to the top rope. He approaches it, and he's gone. He's gone. There he goes. Roman Reigns is out. The crowd are in ecstasy as we have Sting with a tombstone on Luke Harper in front of the dead man. And 22, here comes the pain. It's Brock Lesnar heading right for Sting, but 23 is the Great Khali. It's getting some beefy boys up in here. And we have, Xavier Woods. He eliminates the Stinger. He eliminates the Stinger. Is that a WrestleMania program? Sting versus Xavier Woods. And meanwhile, Taker eliminates Tyson Kidd. Oh. Xavier Woods, the giant killer, is now, Brock is going to throw him over the ropes. And he's gone. That's it. In 24, our man, Pepsi Phil, CMPunk, the punker. 24 is a good spot. You could win from 24. Undertaker came in at 5, still in the ring. David Otunga coming down to the ring. David Otunga. Darren Young's in there as well. I don't know when he showed up, but he's in there. Otunga representing Nexus with that armband. After many years, he still believes. You're Nexus or you're against us. Number 26, speaking of the Nexus, it's Wade Barrett. He's afraid you've got some bad news. At 20, are we lining up for 27? No, we see Brock moving Taker up to the North Ropes. And Brock picks up Taker, and Brock eliminates him. Brock's thrown out the dead man. 10 months after coming up short at WrestleMania 30, and Brock eliminates Taker from the Rumble. That is a statement of intent. The clock ticks down, and we've got, lucky number 27, RVD, Mr. I've Got Ears himself, Mr. Monday Night. Has never really shone the brightest at WrestleMania. He did have a Money in the Bank win. That's about it. Big power slap. And there was an elimination, and I've completely missed it. Who was that? Titus O'Neil's in the ring. It's Punk. It's our guy. Punk's eliminated. Punk's out. Number 29. You can't write this. Axelmania. Can we just mention we have 3 members of the Nexus there with Darren Young, David Otunga, Barrett. 4. Curtis Axel. 4 members of the Nexus in all of its iterations. And there goes Titus O'Neil. Darren Young has somehow been removed. So the primetime players are both out. Luke Harper is doing much better than his other two Wyatt family members. Going at it with Bad News Barrett. And number 30 is Cesaro. So no Cody Rhodes. And Barrett with the big boot, and eliminates Luke Harper, who put in a good showing. So one of these 6 men will main event WrestleMania, and it won't be David Otunga, as Wade Barrett's removing a Nexus brother. Rob Van Dam gets rid of Curtis Axel moments before Barrett was going to. So here are our final 4, any of whom would make an excellent WrestleMania match. Any of whom. The main event against John Cena or whoever it may be. Fast runs a little bit. Brock's. Oh, and then Cesaro comes in and steals the elimination, but Brock picks up Cesaro. Oh, is he? He's got him up, and he throws him out. We are down to 2. We are down to Wade Barrett. We are down to Brock Lesnar. We have the Beast Incarnate versus the master of the bullhammer elbow. Brock picks him up. He's not throwing him out. It's an F5, but he's not throwing him out. Why are you not throwing him out, Brock? He picks him up. He puts him in a bear hug. I don't understand. It's throw him over the top rope. Barrett's tapping out. Barrett's calling for the bullhammer. Lesnar's playing with his food, it seems like. Lesnar, he's going for the win. He's going to, is this it? Is Brock going to WrestleMania? Brock Lesnar against the world champion, whoever he may be, and it's not going to happen. Wade Barrett manages to sneak his way back in. The 2 men circle and realize the stakes. Brock's been here before. Wade Barrett's never been here before. Mr. Money in the Bank against the Ultimate Combat Fighter. Oh, a belly to belly. Brock can smell the end. A right hand, and Barrett goes down again. He takes him. He's going to place him. Oh, he's taking him to the ropes. He's backing up. He runs. Oh, Barrett. Barrett throws him over. Barrett knocks him out. Barrett is going to WrestleMania. He's Mr. Money in the Bank. He's also heading to WrestleMania. He's afraid he's got some bad news for whoever holds that strap, because the Rocket is clearly behind Bad News Barrett. Wow. Legitimately one of the best Royal Rumbles I've ever seen. I hope I went back and did full commentary on that. I'm going to put the whole thing in. I hope people are cool with that. All right. Let's continue on. It's not the main event. That's how we started the night off. Oh, let's look at Summer Rae versus Alicia Fox. And it's Alicia Fox with the win in a disappointing match. The rubber match. The Usos and Miz and Mizdow. And it's the champs retaining. Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton for Pride. And Ziggler gets his, I guess, revenge win back. Oh, no, he beat Orton for the belt. And then Cena beat him. And then finally, Dean Ambrose and R-Truth in a match for, let's say, Pride. Corporate Kane's hanging out with Dean Ambrose. I got to take a look and see what's happened there. Wouldn't that be something if in this version Dean Ambrose also came across? Dean Ambrose beats R-Truth, but how much did Kane have to do with that? Let's have a look. Does it say Wade Barrett is? It doesn't mention him with any sort of title. I don't know if it's supposed to say something above his name or not. We know. We can put him in if we need to. Wow. If I go to, and it shows if I go to Raw, if I go to Championship Money in the Bank. Oh, he's used it and he's come up dry. Okay, so Wade Barrett, somewhere along the way, he used it. I realized during the Rumble halfway that I'd skipped by it. So obviously he's tried to use it against Cena, and it hasn't worked. So we won't be having the heist of the century this year, but we don't need it because Wade Barrett's going to get another crack against the champion, whoever they may be, at WrestleMania. Took some notes. We're going to definitely let the Rumble play into our Mania card. I'm not supposed to be a booker, but you can't pass some of these moments up. You can't pass some of these moments up. We're at Fastlane. Nikki Bella main eventing, it looks like. Dolph Ziggler against Sheamus. Rosa Mendez gets another crack at Alicia Fox. Fandango, Dean Ambrose. Yeah, there's some weird thing going on with Luke Harper as well. We got to take a look at that before we go too much further. Seth Rollins, Justin Gabriel for the U.S. title. Good for Justin Gabriel. He's had a good run. Cesaro down to the final three in the Rumble there. Brock Lesnar. Who needs a Rumble win when you can take on John Cena? Oh, this might get in the way of something that I had planned. 6-man elimination chamber match for Fastlane. For the women. And not for the belt. That makes zero sense. We're going to say this is for the winner of this is going to take on Alicia Fox at WrestleMania. That's what we're going to say this is. Because we got to give context to these meaningless main event matches. So there we are. Let's go ahead and Pepsi Phil, not on the card. Out of curiosity, how's he doing? Let's take a look at a couple things while we're here. First, let's take a look at Dean Ambrose and figure out what in the flippity-dippity is going on with him. It says his allies are... It says his allies are Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, the Shield version, we can get rid of that, and Roman Reigns. I didn't take a look and see who his other ones were. But I will. Why go in once when you can go in twice? You know what I'm saying? And we've got Luke Harper as a main manager and Corporate Kane. Really interesting here. His enemies are listed as Fandango, Rusev, R-Truth, and Seth Rollins. So I don't know if there's something going on here. He's not in a tag team. Interesting stuff. Seth Rollins, are you still in a tag team? Is the question. Seth Rollins, yeah, tag team still intact. He's okay. Yeah. His thing's fine. Just Dean's in some weird. That could be some fun interplay with why is Kane going out and doing this? Actually, it creates quite a natural bit of tension. Kind of the Randy Orton rule gets sort of moved aside a little bit here, and Rollins turns paranoid a little bit earlier. Who else is I going to come look at? I forget. Not Brock. Oh, I was going to look at Pepsi Phil. The reason behind the video. The reason behind getting in the time machine to begin with. Let's take a look. Where are we at here? Edit shows. Let's take a look at divisions. Wade Barrett 8th, but Wade Barrett's also our winner there. He's number 2. He's number 2 in the rankings. He's ready for a title match. He just needs to get to be the guy to do it. All right, let's do it. Who's going to go ahead and go to WrestleMania for the ladies? And then also Brock Cena. Is this Suplex City? Can I say that on YouTube? I guess we'll find out. Sheamus over Ziggler. Alicia Fox continues. It's going to be like a year-long reign. She's doing the AJ Lee reign. That's ridiculous. Fandango over Dean Ambrose with all the help. Jeez. Justin Gabriel over Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins will be making the move up to the main event scene after this. We're going to put him on the line for the big one. I think that's a good way to do it. Let me know in the comments. You think if I'm jumping him too early? I am keen to sort of get into real life, but I think a U.S. title run is a good preparatory sort of role if you had a good run with it. And I think he did okay. Cesaro versus Alberto Del Rio with a win. Cena beats Lesnar. Cena beats Lesnar. My plans can remain. And Nikki Bella will go on to WrestleMania. Okay, so WrestleMania is going to have some stuff from me in there. That's just going to have to be part of it. Last NXT show of the year, NXT Rival. Finn Balor, a debuting Finn Balor. I'll have to get rid of the Judgment Day around him. Against Kevin Owens. The Lucha Dragons against the Ascension. Bo Dallas and Hideo Itami. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair. Bayley and Becky Lynch. Totally juiced. Hype juice, I think we said. Hype juice. Versus Blake and Murphy in the main event. This is a great story, and NXT is a place where you can do that stuff. So there we are. Let's go ahead and simulate and see what comes our way. Kevin Owens defeats Finn Balor. Victor and Connor over Kalisto and Sin Cara. Bo Dallas over Hideo Itami. His reign continues. Charlotte Flair over Alexa Bliss. Bayley beats Becky Lynch. Her reign continues. And Hype Juice over Blake and Murphy. That's the NXT for the year. And now we're just going to put a bow on it with WrestleMania. From SoFi Stadium in San Francisco, it's WrestleMania. Alicia Fox, it's a year-long reign. Are they giving her the main event? We've got Rob Van Dam versus Dolph Ziggler. The Usos versus Rybaxel. Who really should feel badly. They have not had a title shot really this whole year. Adam Rose challenges Justin Gabriel for the United States Championship. Has an effing meant less. This is before we have a brand split. Like, wait till there's a brand split. Oh. Emma versus Tamina, who's made up nice with AJ Lee. So that's good. Sting versus Triple H. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. Run it back after Taker was eliminated by Brock. When Brock did not get the win, he demanded this match. Oh, we're not skipping the WWE Championship. That is not happening. So who is least deserving of being here? And I'm sorry. It's it's going to be. There's no tag title match on the card either. I can live with that. That's not exactly new for a WrestleMania season. But I am not living without that. So I am going to bump Emma and Tamina off the card. And Pepsi Phil, not on the card. Not on the card at all. The main event, Wade Barrett, John Cena. I really like that. Oh, some really good elements and then some missing pieces. That is a shame. But let's go ahead and see how it comes across. Oh, we're just going to sim it. We're just going to sim it. We did the full Rumble. There's no Punk. We're just going to sim it and see if simulation gods are kind to us. Here we go. Dolph Ziggler over RVD. That makes sense. Dolph's the one staying. The Usos defeat Rybaxel. A good weekend for them, or a good year for them, I should say. But where do we go from here? I don't know. We will see. Justin Gabriel defeats Adam Rose. The belt's got a little bit of credibility, and Justin Gabriel's had a really good year. A really, really good year. So there is that. Triple H defeats Sting. All the shenanigans. Obviously a fixed point. But not the win, though. All the shenanigans. It just goes to show the past does not want to be changed. Sacred timeline, our timeline, both one and the same. Cripps beat Sting. And there it goes. It took an extra. He's the 1 in 22-1. Brock Lesnar. Really, it was going to be whoever eliminated Taker was going to get the next shot at the streak. And I did not think a million years that we'd get Brock. I'm glad it's not like Xavier Woods. Pretty New Day Xavier Woods at that. Like, I'm glad it's someone of renown, but it goes, even when you try in the past, I said the past does not want to be changed. It just got delayed a year. So Brock Lesnar ends And I was really pulling for Undertaker in that Royal Rumble. Oh, I wasn't when it started. But when he ran from number 5 to about number 27 or number 28, I was all in. More so than I was for Punk. I was all in for Taker. And yeah, for this to happen that way, there we go. That's good. It sets up Brock for a good run in the future too. So it feels like that's the right thing to do, whole story wise. It's good to see. Alicia Fox beat Summer Rae. It's now officially a year-long reign. We are looking at the longest reigning Divas champion of all time. Oh no, I was supposed to put in a match for oh, that's a mistake on my part. We were supposed to do Nikki Bella, weren't we? Nikki Bella, we will have to make good on that. We'll call that an injury. An injury for a month. We'll have to do something the first month of next year with Nikki Bella. Whoops. And then I think I was just so staggered because John Cena, Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett has done it. He is your new WWE champion. And there's a great story here. The Mr. Money in the Bank who failed against Cena. You know, he tried when he was a member of the Nexus. He tried when he had the Money in the Bank and was unsuccessful. And then he did it. You know what? He didn't have to do it the cheap way now. He got to go ahead and earn it. He won the Royal Rumble. He eliminated Brock Lesnar to do it. And then he beats John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania 31. Oh, WrestleMania 31 was bad news for Cena, but good news for at least for those of us who like Wade Barrett. I love Wade Barrett. I always thought he should have had a run with the belt. I felt Cena did him dirty back at SummerSlam in, what was that, like 08? Whatever year that was. And Wade Barrett should have been before Drew McIntyre easily. Hot take, Wade Barrett, twice the superstar Drew McIntyre is. Twice the superstar. What a talker. He can go in the ring. He can tell a story. Wade Barrett's one of the true missed opportunities in WWE history. So this is that. However, that's not supposed to be the reason why we're here. We're here because it's supposed to be CM Punk, the voice of the voiceless. And the voice of the voiceless is sitting in catering, wondering what should he be doing with his life. And that's an interesting place to leave this. Lots of changes next year. Seth Rollins will make the full jump up to the main event. We'll have other groups come and go. I think, and start in next year, we'll have to stop at the halfway point, and I'm going to have to figure out how we're doing the draft. So we've got a lot coming on in the next 12 months, WWE lore. It's not been successful for Punk to this point. He beat Trips last year, and this year, not on the card. We will have to call this an injury. Punk did his knee in. I'm also thinking about doing a wheel of summertime, the summer of Punk wheel, to go. What can we keep Punk busy with until Rumble season comes around every year? But yeah, he's up there. But should we put him in a faction? Should we put him in a tag team? Should he flip from heel to babyface? Should he go on hiatus for a year? All these things are options that we could have. I'd be very interested to get any feedback anybody has. If you've watched this at all, hey, you know what? Thanks a lot for sticking with me. I'm making some mistakes, but I'm having a lot of fun, and I hope somebody out there is enjoying coming along for the ride. I didn't want to do this all in one 25-minute video where I'm just reading out results of cards. I wanted to kind of get in the weeds a bit. Vince doesn't want to do that. I do. Get in the weeds and see the story that's created. That's what the entertainment is in wrestling, I think. And you can't get that from just hitting simulate. You got to find a reason to invest and to care. And you know what? What are we looking at? We're looking at high definition renders on a screen. But if we can actually make these things, it's weird. I'm cheering. I literally have a rooted interest in which of these graphics gets the win little gray symbol beside it. But it does. It's sort of the joy of it. It's only one step removed from the wrestling product itself. So thank you for joining me on this crazy journey. We are 2 years in as we march towards WrestleMania 40. WrestleMania 32 is supposed to be Roman and Trips, and it's supposed to be the Rumble where the title's on the line. Is that a fixed point? I don't know. We know the draft's coming up. Spoilers, that is a fixed point. So we'll look and see what the next year has to come with us. Until that point, I guess I should do the thing where I say like, share, and subscribe. It'd be great just to know that someone's listening. So if you've got this far, go ahead and give some feedback, give some thoughts. I'm kind of just enjoying this. This is the kind of thing I do for myself anyway, and this having the outlet is it's a lot of fun. So thank you very much. If you're out there, be kind to each other. Be kind to each other. We only get one go around this crazy thing. Let's not make anyone's day worse. Not when the alternative is so much better. That's all the sort of talk from me. My name's Ian. This has been the Smart Mark. That's what I'm looking for. This has been the Smart Mark Time Machine. Remember your own branding, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop.